Well, everybody, this is it. This is going to be part one of my 1980s movie collection for 2025 edition. So, anyways, no time to waste. Let's begin. Starting with the clamshells, the cut boxes, and the rest are slipcovers and caseless. So, anyways, let's begin. Here we go. Need to fix those before I could show them off. There, that's better. So, anyways, let's begin. And of course, all the Herbie movies needed a rewatch soon. July 18th, 1997. Same print date as Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. Classic Muppet movie from 1981, but it needs a rewatch soon. One last time. December 2nd and December 13th, 1992. And this is the copy with the feature presentation bumper because this copy is version 2, like my other copy that I have since 2021. And this is the oldest Warner Brothers tape I ever owned, which I had since 2017. Which I got from Vets for Success, shortly before we moved to Lewiston. April 27th, 1983. Now, of course, this movie right here needed a rewatch. I was going to watch this movie this year, but due to the VCR breaks, I'll have to wait until next year then. Kind of sucks, right? August 3rd, 1994. Classic 1983 movie right here. And they started with the Vacation franchise. August 23rd, 1985, so this is a reprint. But even though this tape is from 1983, in case you didn't know. Definitely one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies right here. And needs a rewatch soon as well, so yep. And I will rewatch it on Christmas Day, along with the sequel, so yep. October 28th, 2001, so printed 3 days before Halloween of that year. I'll probably rewatch this movie soon, sometime after Thanksgiving, which we're celebrating today. February 2nd, 1995. Printed 2 days before Valentine's Day of that year. And I will be rewatching the sequels as well soon. So, yep. Classic 1984 movie right here that I've first time watched back in 2024, which is last year. January 4th, 1985. This movie right here needed a rewatch soon, which I'll probably rewatch it after Christmas sometime before New Year's. October 4th, 1985. There, that's better. That way it could make some more room here. Classic underrated Disney anime movie right here. Definitely one of the darkest Disney anime movies ever made. June 12th, 1998. And this is the copy with the feature program bumper because this copy right here is version 1 of the 1998 VHS of this tape. I was going to rewatch this movie back in August of this year, but my Toshiba VCR player broke. So I'll have to replace another VCR player. But I will rewatch it soon. Promise. I did rewatch this movie on Saturday. Great underrated Disney anime movie right here from 1986. And of course, Vincent Price did the voice of Professor Radikid in this movie. This is it's his favorite character, and he loves his playing this character. So, yep. April 18th, 1992, and April 19th, 1992. Definitely one of my all-time favorite Don Bluth movies right here, along with The Secret of NIMH, All Dogs Go to Heaven, and Anastasia. And I do have the sequel, in which I'll show that on my 1990s movie collection for 2025 edition, or early 2026 edition. Probably next year. July 15th, 1998. And the 29th week of 1998. I'll probably rewatch this movie before Christmas. So, yep. And I do like the Chipettes, so I had this tape since 2021. And I like Miss Miller too. They're my favorites. February 21st, 1998. And of course, I made a fanfic of the Chipette adventure. So, yep. In which I wrote the story last year as well. Printed the 8th week of 1998. I'll probably rewatch this movie after Christmas sometime. And the clamshell is in horrible condition, but that's alright. But at least the rest of the tape still plays fine. At least. June 14th, 1996. Excellent 1987 movie right here that has Carrie Elves and Robin Wright, of which I rewatched it this September. June 8th, 1998 is the print date. And if you guys haven't seen this movie, definitely recommend it soon. So, yep. Needs a rewatch soon, which I watched it back in 2021. But like I said, needs a rewatch soon. August 5th, 2002 is the print date. I will probably rewatch this movie soon, which I haven't seen it since 2022. Since the last time I've rewatched this movie. January 28th, 1996. and the fourth week of 1996. And lastly, here's the last clamshell for this collection. And then we'll get to the Cupbox, and the rest are slipcovers and a few caseless. I used to have another copy back in 2016 from Vets 46. No. Got the tape from Goodwill, but the tape got broken, so I decided to replace this tape last year, which I got from the youth ranch in Meridian while I visit for a few days. No printing on this tape, unfortunately, but that's alright. That's it for the clamshells, and now the rest are, and now the cut boxes. Or let's move on with the cut boxes. So, anyways, here we go. This movie right here needed a rewatch soon. No print date or the prings on the top of the lid. Once again, this movie right here needed a rewatch soon. January 16th, 1985. And I'll check the week and year code. And I think it's printed. I think it's printed the third week of 1985 under the sticker. I think. I'm not so sure about that. Classic 1986 movie right here. That stars Bette Midler, Richard Dreyfuss, and Nick Nolte. And this movie features Little Richard as well. And this is the very first Disney movie to receive an R-rated by the MPA. The wheels are yellowish, but the rest of the tape still plays fine. September 16th, 1986. And the lid is broken. But at least the rest of the tape still plays fine, so yep. This movie right here needed a rewatch soon. Once again, the wheels are yellowish. Hopefully the rest of the tape still plays fine. Um, April 22nd, 1987 is the print date. Once again, this movie right here needed a rewatch soon, which I've seen it back in 2021. And it came with the old receipt that I had at the, since it's a full rental from Video City. I believe the print date underneath the sticker is October 26, 1986. Three more cut boxes left, and then we'll be finished. Classic 1987 movie right here. October 4th, 1989. And of course, this movie's about vampires and stuff. Since it's a 1987 classic horror movie. And of course, Diane West, Corey Feldman, and Keith Sutherland are in this movie. So, yep. This movie right here needed a rewatch one last time. I'll probably rewatch it next Tuesday or so. If you guys haven't seen this movie, definitely recommend it soon. So, yep. And lastly, here's the last of the cut box. April 24th, 1990, and the 17th week of 1990. That's it for the cut box. Now the rest are slipcovers and a couple case lists. So, anyways, let's begin. I've seen this movie before, back in 2020, but it needs a rewatch soon. I think the print date is February 4th, 2002. Classic 1980 comedy right here that has Dan Aykroyd and the late John Belushi. October 4th, 1995. And printed the 40th week of 1995. I really loved this movie to death, which is a 1980 comedy that stars Goldie Hawn. Of course, I've rewatched this movie in honor of the movie's 45th anniversary, back in October of this year. No print date or end label, unfortunately, but that's alright. At the beginning of the tape, still have the 1981 VHS of this tape, so yep. Haven't seen this movie yet, unfortunately, but I will in the future. Which I'll probably watch it after Thanksgiving, so yep. June 22nd, 1996. And the 20th week of 1990, or the 26th week of 1996. I've seen this movie before, last year. Needs a rewatch soon, so yep. And this tape is damaged at the beginning, but that's alright. June 9th, 1998. I remember watching this movie back in 2019, but it needs a rewatch soon. Like next Halloween, which is 2026. I think I've seen this movie before, but it needs a rewatch in the future. July 21st, 1997, and the 28th week of 1997, I think. Had this tape for a very long time, and all the Indiana Jones movies are needed a rewatch soon. September 19th, 1991, and the 38th week of 1991, I think. Really good James Bond movie right here that I've first time watched back in 2021, which is 4 years ago. Classic 1981 Disney animated movie right here. And one of the saddest movies ever made as well. April 6, 2000. Needs a rewatch after a few years. I'll probably rewatch it this next October, I think. Probably rewatching this sequel next October, along with the first Halloween movie from 1978. I'm about to show a few more tapes for this video and then we'll stop here for part 2. August 2nd, 1996 is the print date. Classic 1981 movie right here. Excellent right here. That has Katharine Hepburn, Henry Fonda, and Jane Fonda. That I've rewatched on Friday, which is last week. August 24th and August 26th, 1993. And the 34th week of 1993. Once again, this movie right here needed a rewatch soon. March 31st, 1996. And the 13th week of 1996. Once again, this movie right here needed a rewatch soon. January 18th and April 18th, 2000. And lastly, for part 2, definitely a classic right here from 1982 that has Julie Andrews, James Gardner, and Robert Preston. October 3rd, 1996. And if you guys haven't seen this movie, definitely recommend it soon. Well, everybody, there you have it for part 1 of my 1980s movie collection for 2025 edition. Stay tuned for part 2 heading your way sometime tomorrow. So, anyways, this is Superman Me 2002. See y'all later and hope you have a fun rest of your guys' Thanksgiving. So,